Here's something I use quite often. Let me show you how it works. It's a visual targets and alerts, and I have what I use now is what's called NAFA compliant. You can't have opposing signals. If we went to put it on the chart right now, there it is. Now, okay, you could see it up here in the corner, but it's not really yet on the chart. You could see it on the chart, but it's not really yet on the chart. We click here. Okay, it looked and it saw that there were no orders. So and I'll explain later why that's important. But it removed the EA. So you have to have orders on the chart. So let's just put one here. So buy true. Okay, so now we have an order on the chart. So now let's put it on here. And inputs are simply if you want to set the targets or not, your profit target pips, your stop loss pips, and delete pending. I'll talk about that later. Okay, so let's set the targets. What would happen if you didn't set the targets? It would draw the profit target line and the stop loss line, but they wouldn't do anything other than seeing the line. So let me see here. Let's go so we can see both the 200 and 200. Okay, so here's going to be your stop loss line. Here's your profit target line. And right here is my existing, what did I do? I must not have set that to true, huh? Here's my existing profit target right there. I did set it to true. Must not be a tick yet. Once a tick comes in, hits, okay, now the profit target moved up there. And if you say, for instance, want to change it later, you have to get on the line. If you have a lot of trades, you have to get on the line, or either see when it says drag modify, it's talking about the any other time I'd be able to do it pretty easy. I'd be able to do it easy this time. There we go. Okay, now the line's active. I can drag it down to here, let go of it, and it has to be a tick coming in, and I guess this is a slow time for the US Swiss pair. There it goes. It dropped them down there. And if you had 10 orders, it would have dropped all 10. So now let's put in a buy stop. Let's see here. Okay. Let's get this back up here. Okay, let's say we're going to put in a fractal buy stop. It's going to go in right there. It will set the profit target on that also. It'll set the profit target it also right there. If we wanted to put a buy limit, which is almost down there at the stop loss, drag stop loss down. When a tick comes in, it'll move both of them down. Okay, now let's see here. What did I say? Buy limit? Yeah. And you could just put a regular, manually do it too. Buy limit. Okay, so now let's see if we wanted to pull that one down. The others are there. Oh, now you can see it. See, it's kind of jumbled up there. The numbers, you can't see them clear. That's because they're all on the same spot. And if you let this go, it will change it, but this thing here is going to override your change and move it back. So you can't move it as long as this is active. Now, the NAFA compliant. In the states here, we cannot have opposing orders. So if there is opposing orders, what it will do, it will remove the expert advisor. So let's put a sell limit, and it's going to put a sell limit at the fractal, and let me put it about 20 pips so you can see it. Okay, there it is. Now on the first tick, what should happen, unless I've coded it wrong and it's been working, it'll see that sell limit, and it will realize that it can't set the targets properly. It's going to alert, and see how it removed the EA, and it comes on here, removing EA, account not NAFA compliant. Okay, so let's do this. So anyway, that's how it works. And the other thing is, I don't want to close it. If I'd have looked up and that order would have been profitable, I'd have closed it. And you would see, when you don't have any orders on the chart, it will remove itself also. And the reason for that is, if you had, say, a whole lot of orders, and you had this thing on there, and you forgot, and you open up another chart, and you actually forgot that this expert advisor was here, and you put another order, this one will still be trying to set the profit targets where these levels are. So once all orders are closed on that chart, it removes itself. Because I can't tell you how many times I've forgotten, and I've had 3 or 4 US Swiss charts or something open and forget that I have this visual targets still active on a chart, and they'll sit there. If you put another one on with a different value, they'll sit there and they'll fight back and forth. It'll switch it and then it'll switch it back and switch it. They just take turns switching it. So what I do now is, if there's no orders, you can't put it on the chart. It's got to be at least a buy limit or sell limit or stop or something. And when all the orders are gone, that includes buy limits, sell limits, anything. When all of them are gone, it removes itself, and that's just to alleviate problems in the future. Let's look at the code real quick. Never use anything you can't look at the code at. Alright. Just the first thing is going to be the NAFA warning. It's got to be no hedge requirement. It's no hedge compliant. Set targets, true or false. By default, I have the profit targets at 500 pips. And of course, it adjusts it for 3 and 5 digits, multiplied by 10. That's typical. And here's the things that will remove it. This is just if the count by and count by stop. No, I'm sorry. This is what makes the lines. This draws your horizontal lines. If you have your orders on there and it sees buy stops, it will set the profit target, and it sets it at this level right here, ask plus target pips times point. And it's the same thing at the sell, it just does it differently, ask minus, where this was ask plus. That's just drawing the lines. Here's what removes the orders. It just counts the types, and if they're greater than 0, both of them, sell type and buy type, then it removes. If there's none, no buy types, limit, stop, no sell type, stop, limit, no, it removes the order. The expert advisor. That's all that is. And here's your profit target. It's just retrieving the value of that line. So if you drag that line down, or if you drag it up, this right here sees it, and that's how it knows to readjust your profit targets. And in the options, there's a thing that said delete pendings. That's just in case you had, say, maybe 30 orders and you still had 5 or 6 pendings, and your 30 orders hit your total profit target, so you closed them all. There's no point sometimes in having the rest of those pendings on there. So this is saying if count equals 0, delete pendings. If count equals 0 and delete pendings, in other words, you set it to true up at the top, it just says close pendings, and it's only on this chart, only on this symbol. And this is just the code for setting the targets. It's one of those things, if you understand it, you'll understand it. Draw labels, probably not being used. Draw horizontal line, you saw that up there. Count, this is just counting, just like I said. It's counting the symbol and active orders, buy or sell. Count type is just counting every single type, buy limit, buy stop. Close pendings, this is just the code to close the pendings, standard. I'll post this code on AnyVid site, earn4x.com, under indicators we use, even though it's not an indicator. It's a census indicator, but indicators can't modify or place orders, so in a clinical sense, it's not an indicator. But I'll post it on AnyVid site, earn4x.com, later today.